Welcome everybody to the first edition of Double A Sports. I'm Andrew Van Cura alongside Anthony Tuitt. Tuitt, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I am all right. So it is. Well, let's just jump right into the nitty gritty. It is Super Bowl week. It is Wednesday here at around 10 a.m. So big game Sunday. We got the Bengals and the Rams. Can we just take a second to acknowledge the fact that somehow, some way, the Cincinnati Bengals of all teams are in the Super Bowl? I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime.
Of course not. Nobody was gonna see it because, no offense to the state of Ohio, but they're not known for their sports. But hey, shout out to Joe Burrow. Shout out to the team. The LSU boys really pulled through for this one. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, their kicker, they got one of the best kickers in the league right now. But I will say this much: the Rams are coming out for blood after what happened to the last Super Bowl after Tom Brady came back. But in all honesty, it's gonna be a good game. I'm kind of scared for Joe Burrow because you got Aaron Donald, you do have Von Miller, and then also as well you have Jalen Ramsey on defense. But on offense, you have star-studded Cooper Kupp, who's arguably having the greatest season of his career.
It's an amazing season.
And then you also have somebody that's on a little bit of a vengeance too. I won't speak on his name, but I will speak on his name due to the fact he did play for the Giants, Odell Beckham Jr. But I mean, hey, if he wins this ring, I'll be happy for him. But at the end of the day, I want to see the Bengals win. But is it probable? Not really. But I mean, you always got to go for the underdog.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on paper, right, this shouldn't even be a contest.
No.
If you look at it on paper, the Rams are so stacked at all the important positions. When you've got the pass rush you mentioned with Donald and Miller, you've got the best corner in the game in Ramsey, you've got two electrifying receivers in Kupp and Beckham.
And you're forgetting about the one and only Matt Stafford.
Exactly. You got an upgrade at the quarterback position with Stafford. But the Bengals have beaten superior teams all postseason.
Oh, even during the regular season.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs, and honestly, once they beat the Chiefs, I'm like,
they proved their point.
Anybody.
They proved their point.
They can beat anybody.
They proved their point because the Chiefs is already star-studded. It is. You have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, you got Claire, you got all those key people on that team where it's like, wow, like I was watching that game and I was like, wow, that really just happened. Because usually when a team wins a coin toss and overtime, it's a done deal. Scrape the slate, it's over. But Joe Burrow said no. And honestly, I like Joe Burrow's story due to the fact, you know what I'm saying? At Ohio State, he didn't really get the burn he received that he deserved. Nope. He came to LSU, showed out for them boys, Coach O, won a chip. And then not only was he able to get himself on the Bengals to become a starting quarterback, he also got one of his people from LSU, a few people from LSU to come on that team. You know what he said was going to show out. And then the first season, tore his ACL, and then he came back the next season. He proved his point of why he deserves to be in the NFL, which is crazy to me. This is why I think Joe Burrow is really going to be a dominant threat in the near future.
I mean, all the people clowning the Bengals with, and I wouldn't say rightfully so, for taking Jamar Chase so early in the draft when a potential franchise tackle in Penei Sewell was right there, and O-line was such a big need for them. The only way it would work out is if Chase turned into, well, what he turned into, a generational receiver. I mean, it's insane. They got weapons all over that team.
Not even that. It's not even just weapons across the team. If you look at the college aspect, LSU had weapons. You even had Justin Jefferson, who's also
that was a phenomenal team at LSU. That night.
LSU, they got phenomenal talent. Even Justin Jefferson on the Vikings. Even the Vikings are. I'm not going to speak on that. Justin Jefferson
we'll
is a
that
unit.
For another time.
We'll say that for another day. Anyways, Justin Jefferson is still a unit. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. And I'm really, really looking forward to see what's going to take place next season, even with this little coaching thing we got going on. But hey, that's besides the point.
Do we want to go into that? Or
I mean, Super Bowl, we already know what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. It's going to either go one way or the other. So, I mean, let's talk about this coaching thing. The Giants, we're not going to – that's my team. It's going to be my team. I may hate to say it,
so but – are you a fan of the Dable hiring, like in general, or no?
No.
Is it because you wanted Flores? Or
of course I wanted Flores.
You wanted Flores. Okay.
Flores, if you look at it from a standpoint, right? You had the Dolphins, and he took the Dolphins, and you know how the Dolphins have been in the recent decade.
He took a less than talented team higher than they should have been.
And the Giants, that's what the Giants need, because due to the fact, like, don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones, I may have my feelings about him, but he's not a bad quarterback. He just makes terrible decisions. So due to the fact he makes terrible decisions, I can't really, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been able to see the guy at his full potential? It's either been no O-line, no weapons, no defense. The roster has never been
the same
together, really. And, with the Giants, I mean, I kind of understand the Dable hiring in a way because of who they picked as their GM.
Of course.
When you pick the guy from Buffalo to be the new GM, which I liked. And then you go to Dable, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. He brings in the guy he's familiar with. So I mean, I originally had Flores as the best candidate for the job. From all accounts, it seems like he wanted the job, or at least was very interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting situation. I don't think Dable's a bad hire, but part of me wonders if the only reason he looked so good in Buffalo was because he had Josh Allen.
And Stephon Diggs and etc.
Right. So it's a little interesting, but now every head coaching position vacancy in the NFL has been filled.
Yeah,
The Vikings one technically not yet because it's the Rams offensive coordinator who can't officially take the job
of
until
course
after
not.
the Super Bowl.
But will he though? It depends if they win the Super Bowl or not.
I mean, the Texans basically threw their hands up in the air and settled for Lovie Smith.
Which will be interesting. Will be very interesting to see how he does.
Look, I have no issue with Lovie, but it's just like, what? Why is Jack Easterby? Why is Nick Cassero still allowed to make hires in Houston? This is like what, their fourth head coach since Bill O'Brien.
The Texans are a mess. They've been in a mess since Deshaun Watson got under the water with that whole situation. So I mean, hey, the Texans, as long as Deshaun Watson is able to get clear of these cases, which I'm not condoning anything that he's doing.
No, yeah, but just looking at it objectively,
objectively for a standpoint for them to actually be a solid team if he wants to stay after that. But I find it funny how, not throwing out conspiracies here, but all of a sudden he said he doesn't want to play for the Houston Texans and all these allegations come up. But anyways,
and the lawyer who's prosecuting him lives on the same street as the owner of the Texans.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I found that
many
interesting too. I saw that and I acted like I didn't see that because I'm like, all right. But if they're able to work something out and Deshaun Watson's able to get clearance, I want to see what he's going to do. But if he decides to leave, we'll see where that goes too. I mean,
we'll see where that goes. I'm sure we'll have plenty of off-season coverage to come on this show.
Of course, hands down. And then,
so with that being said, let's get the finale here for football. For your Super Bowl predictions, what do you got? Just like final score and who you got.
You're asking the wrong man. You're asking the wrong man because I want to see my boy Show Shiesty win, but at the end of the day, will it really happen though? I always go for the underdog in the Super Bowl. Every time Tom Brady went, I always rooted against him just because I'm a Giants fan. So it's like this time it's a little bit different because Tom Brady has officially announced his retirement, but at the end of the day, he didn't because he said, I'll never know how I feel in 6 months. So I mean, in all honesty,
he'll come back just to spite everybody.
He'll come back to a team that nobody would expect him to come back to. Anyways, I really think I want the Bengals to win. I'm sorry, Joe, I have to do this to you, but Rams gonna take it.
Oh,
Rams gonna take it.
This is the first Super Bowl in a long time where I have zero issue with either team winning.
Facts.
I like both these teams. I gotta agree. I gotta with the Rams.
It's gonna be a close game.
There's too much talent on the Rams for you not to pick them.
But
could the Bengals and Burrow do it? Absolutely. But can you pick them from a logical standpoint looking at the two teams matchup? No.
But I will say, don't take my complete word on this. It could go either way. So if it goes either way, I want the Bengals to win. But will they win? No. So I'm going to say the Bengals, but in all reality, it's going to be the Rams. And I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be like a maybe 24-17 game.
I think the key for the Bengals is just they cannot get down by a lot early. They managed to pull it off against the Chiefs. But if you get into a hole early, it's just going to get harder.
They got to protect that line crazy. The O-line has to protect Joe very crazy.
Got to be able to run the ball too. Can't be throwing the ball like 40 times a game with Aaron Donald and Von Miller.
And I don't know if you saw what Jalen Ramsey said, but what Jalen Ramsey said looking kind of dangerous.
He's shadowing Jamar Chase pretty much?
Yes.
Maybe a big T. Higgins game. We will see. All right, so with that being said, we're going to move on to our next big topic of today. It is today, right? The trade deadline, or is it tomorrow?
It is indeed tomorrow, February 10th.
It is tomorrow. All right.
So this is when you're going to see the craziest trades go down. I'm praying my phone buzzes, but right now...
This has been a more active trade deadline than I remember in recent years.
Debatable.
Maybe just in terms of like...
Trash trades, yes. Trash trades, yes. These trades have been absolutely tragic. I'm going to go on a ramble right now. So you mean to tell me?
Who are we starting with? Portland?
No, we're going to start off. Give me 2 seconds.
All right, I got you.
Give me 2 seconds. So I'm about to ramble for dear God. I'm sorry because this is outright. This is outrageous. So you mean to tell me, right? You absolutely mean to tell me that you're going to trade CJ McCollum to the Pelicans for dog water? Dude, CJ, you're at the peak of your career. People know you as one of the greatest shot creators in the league, arguably
And the
you mean
president of the Players Association too.
well, no, he's vice president.
Oh, vice president. Sorry,
Because
vice
Chris
president.
Paul is
Chris Paul's the
president. You mean
VP,
to tell
yes.
me you're gonna trade CJ McCollum? And I mean, don't get me wrong, Portland, they're stinky. But at the end of the day, like you literally traded him for a bag of chips. You literally traded him right for Larry. You gave the Blazers sent away CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell. Tony Snell is a bum. I'm sorry, I have to say it. He is not the player he was drafted to be.
He is a bum.
He is a bum.
Larry Nance is a
Larry
solid role
Nance,
player.
he's not his dad, so it
No,
doesn't
he's
matter
not
to
his
me.
dad.
He's
No.
not his dad. So, anyways, and then Shane, you get rid of Josh Hart, who was also very good on the Pelicans. And let's see, he didn't play as much as he wanted to. When he came into that game, he showed up. But the thing is, the reason why I think they got rid of Josh Hart because they have faith in Jose Alvarado. Because Jose Alvarado is a good.
I think it's also a contract thing with Josh Hart. I think he's an RFA after this year.
He is a RFA after this year. But the thing is, like Jose Alvarado, nobody's expecting somebody from Brooklyn, from Christ King. So you know what I'm saying? Come to the NBA,
Yeah.
especially from the G League and show it like that. So I mean, I guess having faith in the young talent. But at the end of the day, would you really give away a key piece such as Josh Hart and then Nikhil Alexander Walker is still very, very young?
I like his potential. He's got good.
I do too. But at the end of the day, like the Pelicans, they're trying to build around Zion, but I don't know how much time they have left because Brandon Ingram, I know he's getting older. I mean, I remember when I was younger, Brandon Ingram was just getting into the league. So it's like, do you really want to do that? And how do you feel about it?
So, from the Pelicans' perspective, I get it. I do find it kind of funny that, like, just last year, I think it was, they traded. Was it last year they traded Drew, or was it 2 years ago now they traded Drew?
It was indeed last year because as soon as they came last year, they went to the chip.
Right. So, I find it funny that they trade Drew Holiday. And at this point in their careers, I mean, Drew's obviously a better defender, way better defender than CJ. But at this point in their careers, they're kind of similar in terms of status, in terms of that kind of fringe all-star guard, veteran fringe all-star guard. I just find it kind of funny that they trade CJ, they trade Drew, and then the next year they go and get CJ. It's a little funny, but I kind of get it from the Pelicans' perspective. You needed to show Zion that you're doing something.
And the real question is, what is Zion doing? Nothing.
Hopefully losing weight. I mean, the Pelicans started off the year 1-12. And then after that, they played 500 ball. They've been 20-20, and they're just outside the play-in, or are they right on the play-in right now?
They are in indeed 11th or 10th place. No, they're in 10th, and then the place is on 11th.
Okay, so they're in 10th right now. They have a shot to make the play-in, and I think at least that might be something to build on for them. They need something. They can't just sit in the lottery forever. And you know what? They've ensured themselves some protections with that pick. If the pick ends up winning the lottery, if it gets anywhere, I think if the pick goes above 4, New Orleans gets it back. If it's in between 5 and the rest of the lottery, Portland gets it, and then if it falls out of the lottery, Charlotte gets it. It's like a weird bunch of protections.
I want Charlotte to get it due to the fact none of those teams need Paolo Banchero, bro. They don't need Paolo Banchero because if you really think about it, the Pelicans get Paolo Banchero. They gotta gut that whole team.
Yeah, no, that would honestly. I think if anything, I think the Pelicans might like either trade down or take Jabari or Chet at that point.
Chet Holmgren?
Yeah, at that point they might.
They have to at that rate.
I mean, I think Chet would fit well with Zion. You'd probably be asking him to space the floor a little bit more, but
they need a big shooter. I mean, Valanciunas is old, but he can't really strap the 3 like the way he used to. But and then also let's talk about this next trade because
hang on, wait. So do we want to cover the Portland side of this first for the whole CJ thing? I mean,
don't even get me started on
this.
Portland.
Is something you should have done 3 years ago.
It is, but at the end of the day, like the fact that you waited so long, like I really looked at it. I looked at a post the other day and it said all the veteran backcourt duos are done. Like Ja Wall, Bradley Beal. You got
the only one left is Stephen Clay.
They're not that. Yeah, to be honest, but like at the end of the day, like if you look at it this way, like CJ McCollum and Dame, if Portland really wanted to be a contending team, they would build around them and get better pieces. Like I mean, granted, you guys did get Melo, and it's like y'all made the bubble, but like off of that, my thing is, and Dame did win bubble MVP, which blows my mind too. You should have built after that season to make your team even better than it was before, because you guys already had a solid team. Dame was playing the best game of his life. So my thing is, if they would have built around that team and kept it going, then they would have had something. But at the end of the day, now, if you heard rumors that they're saying they want to bench Dame for the rest of the season so they can get a first round,
a higher pick,
lottery pick, Dame just needs to go at this rate. Because if Dame stays, it's over.
If Dame stays, it's about the money. That's
Oh,
why
of course.
that's why he stays.
He's about the bag. He's
But
always been about the
if we
bag.
look at the roster, I mean, look, they're probably going to either end up trading Nurkic or they're going to let him go in the offseason. I don't imagine Nurkic coming back. Josh Hart, I actually think fits kind of perfectly with Dame in terms of a backcourt duo, in terms of at least potentially if he turns into what people think he could be, like a big 3-and-D2, I think fits really well with Dame. The big question is, can you bring in somebody else? They're going to have a ton of cap space. They have a massive trade exception. They're going to have probably 2 lottery picks. Are they actually going to draft somebody with that, or are they going to make a trade to try to bring
They're gonna
somebody
fumble
in?
the bag like they always do.
They probably will, but that's at least their thinking. And, you know, I'm always for when a team tries to reset and be better instead of just kind of waiting in mediocrity. I would rather you just go for it and try to do something else. But the one thing that screwed them was if they could have gotten the CJ for Ben trade. I think if that had worked, he and Dame as a duo could have been really interesting.
You know what? I'm tired of your slander. I'm tired of Benjamin Simmons. That Australian is a burger.
We're going to go right to Ben Simmons now?
I mean, we had other things planned, but since you want to bring up this bum, we could talk about this bum. This underperforming bum. He cannot take scrutiny or anything from nobody. Like, you have to realize something. As a basketball player, you have to take adversity and be able to take some type of criticism. Any state,
Has Kevin Durant learned how to do that yet? The dude still claps back on everybody who gets pissed at him on Twitter.
Is he still playing? Is he still playing? Is he still underperforming? No. He's an all-star. What is Ben Simmons doing? He's crying in his sleep. Ben Simmons has done nothing. He talks about, I was doing the best during that playoff season he played last season, and he was underperforming everybody in the playoffs. He was underperforming players. He was underperforming Bo. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ben Simmons? No. Ben Simmons, when he first came to the league, I said, all right, he's going to be a dominant threat. But he showed me otherwise. This man only cares about partying, doing this, that, and the third, and he can't even build his own jump shot. Are you serious? Are you serious?
If he goes to the right team, though, he doesn't need the jump shot.
Every basketball player that plays in the league needs a jump shot. They do. I'm sorry. You got Joel Embiid that got a better jump shot than him. You have bigs. You got Tristan Thompson shooting threes. You mean to tell me you can't build a jump shot, my guy? Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know with the jump shot with Ben. I still don't know if it's like a thing that he just sucks at it or if it's just a confidence thing.
And not only that, he's a lefty. Lefty shooters. You got all-time lefty shooters such as James Harden, Gilbert Arenas. You got D'Angelo Russell. They could all shoot the ball. You're a guard. Granted, you're tall as
Did you just do an all-time lefty shooters list and mention D'Angelo Russell?
Have you not seen him scrap the ball? Have you not seen him shoot the ball? Have you not seen that man shoot the ball? Do you want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets? Do you want to talk about when he was in there hitting the woo wall going?
I remember.
That D'Angelo Russell is a threat from the 3-point line. I don't want to hear what anybody has to say.
I remember that Nets series versus Philly when Jared Dudley tried to back down Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that was the worst day of my life. He said, I can guard him. No, you can't. That's when Ben Simmons was last good. And after that, I don't want to hear nothing about Benjamin Simmons. He cannot take any adversity from anybody.
The dude in his last season that he almost played was finished second, I think, in Defensive Player of the Year voting behind Rudy Gobert.
We're not talking about defense. We're talking about offensive ability to score.
Yeah, offensive. Look, when you use Ben Simmons, there's 2 ways to use Ben Simmons. There's either do it what the Bucks kind of do with Giannis, which is basically spread out shooters all over the floor and just go 4 out.
And it's even that sad because remember when Giannis can't shoot, now he can shoot.
Yeah, I mean, the other way to use Ben, and I actually think this is the better way to use Ben, is basically on offense, use him like Draymond in the half-court set.
Of
Screens,
course.
pick and rolls.
Still, you need to develop your game. He doesn't feel, to me.
Yeah, he's lazy. That's Ben's.
He doesn't feel hungry
to
me.
He's
not hungry to me.
He's complacent. He's
not hungry to me. If you're hungry, then I'll be like, yeah, you got that. But he's not hungry.
That his talent and his current ability is good enough to get him max dollars. So he's not.
He's only
that extra mile to be better. But I think on the right team. So do we want to talk quick about the Harden Simmons thing? I feel like we kind of have to talk about it.
Don't even get me started on the Brooklyn Nets, man.
All right. So basically, if you don't know, the gist is the rumors are that Harden is unhappy in Brooklyn.
Oh, I knew this already. I'm a Brooklyn fan. I knew this already.
No. I'm speaking to the viewers.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's unhappy in Brooklyn and that he might want out in the offseason. And that the team he'd be interested in leaving for is Philly with his old buddy Daryl Morey as the GM. The rumor would be either a sign-and trade, which I still think if it's going to happen, I think it happens in the offseason. I don't think it happens at the deadline.
Oh, no, hands down now. Steve Nash even said it's not happening.
But basically a Ben Simmons for James Harden swap. I know you don't like this as a Nets fan,
If
but
this happens,
but
I am a Hornets fan. I am an Eric Collins fan. Okay, hum diddly d.
God, he went to that mediocre franchise. Oh
Mediocre?
man.
Don't disrespect the GOAT Michael Jordan like that.
Oh my
Okay, he
God.
got LaMelo Ball over there.
He's the
He got.
goat of bad owners when it came to most of his transaction acumen over the years. My
But
God.
now he's redeeming himself. Now he got a young team in there bullying right now.
He got LaMelo Ball. That's basically
Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, Kelly Oubre, James Booknight. You got, bro. Don't even get me started on that team. That team is actually solid.
I
Bro.
like the team. I think they need another stud to go with LaMelo.
Mason Plumlee needs to leave.
I mean, the key target there, if we want to talk Hornets for a second, the key target there is Miles Turner. But now after the other trade that the Patriots made,
they're gonna cut that whole team, bro. Miles Turner's leaving.
They should get it. I just don't know if they will.
But
back to the Harden Simmons stuff. Yeah.
How I feel about that? Hold on.
Oh yeah, you want to go first? As a Nets fan, as the resident Nets fan, you can go first.
I mean, in all honesty, like that whole situation is a mess. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, he's not even injured. He's not. He just doesn't want to play, and due to the fact that Kyrie, my favorite basketball player himself, can't get his life together and get the vaccine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna speak on politics and what's going on, what's not, what's right. But at the end of the day, like you got a team. KD brought you here because in New York, the Knicks, they said we're not gonna take Kyrie because he's crazy. And KD said, you know what? That's okay. We'll go to Brooklyn. So he got you the cut to come to the team. And KD's taking a player cut. James Harden's taking a player cut, and you're already getting paid a buku amount of money. You need to at least get the vaccine and show that you want to be a part of this team. Like Kyrie, you're such a great bowler. You're arguably a generational talent. People look at you as, your godfather is Rod Strickland. You played better than him, and he was just like you. So my thing of the point about it is you can't have all that talent and put it to waste. I mean, granted, you have your own views, and I get that. Everybody's entitled to having their own views, but the numbers you put up every game is insane. Like you're putting up 30 plus points. You can shoot the ball, you can pass, you can handle the ball, you can finish the basket. You can do a lot of things that could honestly make you a great player. And if you play consistently, they can even put you in MVP talk if you actually weren't out of your mind. But the thing is, you lost your mind. So I mean, and don't get me wrong, I feel like the Nets team was much better last year than they were this year. They lost a lot of key pieces. Don't get me wrong, DeAndre Jordan wasn't doing anything, but they had a lot of key pieces. I mean, they did pick up Patty Mills. We're not going to talk about how I feel about that because I dislike Patty Mills because Patty Mills just shucks up the ball. But sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But hey, at the end of the day, the Nets need to do better because we need James Harden to come back. We can't afford to lose James Harden. If they lose James Harden, they lost me as a fan.
Though if you lose James Harden, I can't think of a more perfect fit in Brooklyn than Ben Simmons in terms of just style of play.
Please stop talking. Please stop talking. No. And Ben Simmons comes to this team, I swear I will burn everything that I have owned of the Nets.
If you put Ben Simmons on that Brooklyn Nets team and you utilize him in the way of kind of a 4 small ball 5 in that Draymond style of play, let him in a small ball kind of lineup because that's how the Nets prefer to run. You run Ben at either the 4 or the 5. That is such an just think of the fit. He doesn't need a jump shot if he goes to that team with KD and Kyrie.
You know Stephen A. Smith, right? You know Stephen A. Smith, right?
Yes, I know who Stephen A. Smith is.
Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed.
As the resident Ben Simmons supporter here, I think he'd be great fit.
He'd be great in the G League.
Oh my God. All right, moving on to the other trades that might actually happen at the deadline. Who do you want to discuss first? Who's the most interesting player on the market you want to discuss? Or do we want to recap the Sabonis trade first?
Oh, we got to recap that trade. Hold on.
Oh, boy. Sacramento, what are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you doing?
Like, y'all really want Jeremy Lamb?
You traded Tyrese Halliburton in year 2.
That's not even the main part. You literally packaged Jeremy Lamb in a deal. I forgot he even existed. The last time I heard of Jeremy Lamb was the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder. God. You mean to tell me you got rid of Tyrese Halliburton, who's also a bucket? He's very
talented.
Tyrese
Halliburton.
He's so good.
He's insane.
And then the Pacers is even worse. So they traded this for a can of paint, bro. You mean to tell me you want Tristan Thompson?
I think that's just to make the money work. Some of that stuff I think is filler just to make the money work with Thompson and Hield.
Tristan Thompson is a walking dumpster fire, okay?
He'll be gone at the end of this year anyway.
Huh?
He'll be gone at the end of this year.
He's retiring.
He's expiring.
He's retiring.
Huh. Well,
And
even
then
better.
Buddy Hield. I mean, don't get me wrong, Buddy Hield, great talent, but that 3-point shot, he gotta go hit the gym. But how I feel about this trade, I mean, both sides lost. Outside, no, actually, the Pacers won
The
because they got
Pacers
Tyrese
won this
Halliburton.
trade. Yeah, I like Halliburton.
Sabonis, I mean, more or less, it's a Sabonis and Tyrese Halliburton thing. That they won on both sides of that, but all the key pieces leading onto that trade, they both lost.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking from Sacramento's perspective, basically this seems like they're desperate to make the play-in or something. They seem desperate to be relevant. It seems like this is like a last-ditch attempt to try to keep De'Aaron Fox happy before he starts getting
Like Colin Sexton, he's gonna leave.
Yeah, before he starts going like, "Hey, I want out of this place." And I just fit-wise, I don't get Sabonis on this team. I mean, Sabonis, Rashawn Holmes, De'Aaron Fox.
Sabonis is a stretch 5, bro.
He's more of a mid-range 5, but I mean,
But when he has the opportunity to stretch the 3, he'll stretch the 3, and most of the time
he
it does
will,
go
but
in.
he's not like a.
He's not his dad.
Yeah, the question is, let's say they do still trade Harrison Barnes. Though now with the Kings doing this, they probably are keeping Barnes.
They have to.
Because now I'm thinking, if you moved Barnes, where's the shooting on this team? Like, where's the consistent shooting?
There isn't any.
Yeah, what Terrence Davis at your 2? Is that who you're running at your 2? Who are they even running at the 2? Mo Harkless?
Huh?
Who are they running at the 2? Mo Harkless?
No.
Terrence Davis? Davion Mitchell?
I mean, they could run. Don't sleep on Davion.
I don't have a problem with Davion, but he's perfect for like a 6-man role right now. That's like his perfect spot right now.
See, you gotta see players' potential. You gotta test your waters a little bit. With that team, you gotta test your waters on all aspects, and you know what I'm saying. Like how how the Nets test their waters every game on the new lineup. They gotta see how the lineup fits the best.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. And now there's rumors that Rashawn Holmes might get dealt too. So are we
Might get
assuming
dealt?
that? Yeah, apparently
He might leave.
they might deal him. They might trade him at the deadline and put Sabonis at the 5.
They're gonna have to because Rashawn Holmes and Sabonis played 2 different
They-
games.
I don't see them fitting together.
But in all honesty, like Tyrese Halliburton, like it's gonna be interesting to see him on the Pacers with Malcolm Brogdon now.
That should be a really well fit backcourt. Like, they should play off each other really well. Though I would still expect Brogdon to probably be traded in the offseason anyway, because I know they can't trade him right now because he has like a
Still on his rookie contract.
Brogdon.
Pretty
No,
sure.
Brogdon has a he has like a modified no movement clause or something. He has some type of some like caveat thing where they can't trade him till the offseason.
Wasn't that part of his rookie contract? If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
I think so. Yeah, because when
Or
you're
part of the extension he got, or whatever.
no, I don't think he got an extension because I think Malcolm Brogdon he got drafted 2-3 years ago. So I'm pretty sure rookie contract's 4 years.
Is he still on the rookie contract?
I'm pretty sure. And when you're in a rookie contract, there's no trade clause for some players.
Yeah, hold on. Now I gotta look that up. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
Indiana. There we are. No, I remember he was the sign and trade when he was on Milwaukee. They let him go and in the sign and trade.
Oh, he did? Oh, that's right, because he played for Milwaukee first.
He did play for Milwaukee first. So yeah, so he's making 21 this year. So yeah, it must have been like part of the extension or something.
No trade clause.
He had modified no movement clause.
Well, hey.
But the Pacers, they deal Levert to the Cavs. They're clearly blowing it up, and honestly, I'm all for it. This was another
Levert trade. I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that.
They'll probably flip that Rubio thing for a couple extra picks though, because that expiring contract's kind of valuable because it's kind of it's a way for teams to be able to move long contracts for a player
Rubio got traded.
That's what I mean. They can just flip, but they might flip him again.
He's not on the Cavs anymore.
No, the Pacers might flip him again.
Wait, Rubio got traded in that deal? Oh, he did. That's right.
Rubio was part of the Levert deal. That's how they made the money work.
That's right.
And because he's injured, this is a weird thing in sports. When players are injured, somehow their contracts become assets because you can like move them without taking up a roster spot.
Yeah,
and you can move the money and make it work. It's kind of nuts.
But hey.
But all right, so moving on from the Pacers and the Kings, who's the most interesting player for you left at the deadline?
I want to see what they're going to do with Dame, and I want to see what they're going to do with Wes Berger.
I think Dame resigns in the offseason.
And Wes Brick, I'm going to see what happens.
I don't even think they can move him. Unless you're going to trade for John Wall, I don't think you can move him.
I want to see what they're going to do with John Wall, because John Wall said he wants out.
he wants out, he'd take the buyout. Honestly,
I mean, if he wants out, he would have been took the buy. Let's call it like it is.
yeah, he wants his money.
But
I
he
don't
would,
blame him. He's making like $46 million this year or something like that.
but if he wanted to get bought out, he would have got bought out already.
Yeah, he's not willing to take a buyout.
That's the thing. He wants to play.
He wants to play on his contract.
John Wall is too good to be sitting there saying, I want to buy out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to see what they're going to do with John Wall. There's a lot of people I want to see what they're going to do with. Like, I want to see where John Wall is going to go. I want to see what they're going to do with Westbrook. I want to see what the Lakers are going to do because they need to do a little bit of something.
Does anyone finally take the Kendrick Nunn future 2027 first and THT for something? Does somebody finally take that god awful package for something?
Watch the Knicks do it.
What? I kind of want to laugh, but I could totally see them doing that. You know what? Let's talk the Knicks for a second. Talk about a team that needs to desperately make some moves at the deadline. But at this point, I don't know what they do now.
You saw Julius release that statement, right?
Yeah.
He said that he wants to be in New York forever, but I don't know if New York wants him there forever.
Yeah, I don't think they want him forever. But Fox is probably off the board now because of the Sabonis trade. McCollum is now off the board. So
here's the thing, and I read this the other day too.
Yeah.
If teams knew that Tyrese Haliburton was in the market, a lot of teams would have pushed for Tyrese Haliburton, but they didn't know because they kept it under the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds like something Sacramento would do.
We honestly will see what's going to happen with that. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, I don't know what I'm expecting to see because every year is something different with the trade deadline. You see something crazy.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen anything that, like, said pop, like, struck out at me. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest issue with the Knicks that I will say right now, I've been saying this for a little while with some of my Knicks friends, and they've been kind of clowning me for it, but I think this is actually – I think the problem right now with the Knicks, I think it's Tibbs. I think Tibbs needs to go.
Huh?
Look, Tibbs is the Mike Keenan of basketball. He is Mike Keenan, hockey coach. Anyway, Tibbs is great in the short term.
Yeah, but not the long term.
But in the long term, his style wears on everybody.
Yeah, because he likes to
play players, fans,
it's minutes.
It's minutes. He doesn't play young guys. He overplays veterans. He overplays guys. And right now, he doesn't have the defensive personnel to make his system really work.
No.
The Knicks right now need to focus on development. They were as good as they were last year because the Eastern Conference was
dookie.
Exactly.
Not this year.
No, the Eastern Conference is back to being a little bit more normal. So guys need to go. Kemba needs to go. Fournier, that was a dumb contract when they signed it. But given how much shooters were getting on the market, it was actually market value at that point.
It was crazy.
But the term was what was dumb. I don't know how you move that contract. Good luck doing that.
He's stuck there.
Because, I mean, I would move Toppin to get something. If you're not going to get anything for Randall, if you're not going to move off Randall, move off Toppin now while he has some value. Don't wait.
I have to disagree with that.
And let him go. It's one thing for me. You are not going to get the most out of Obi Toppin while Julius Randle's still here.
So I'm saying, because I've heard from my Knicks friends too, is pack up Randle, tell him pack his bags, take his family somewhere else, and let Obi Toppin develop. You let Obi Toppin develop, I'm telling you, he's going to be a star.
I'm fine with that, but I just see it more likely that they trade Toppin than Randle.
Yeah, because you're looking at the financial standpoint. I'm talking about the reality standpoint. Reality standpoint is you let Toppin grow and you get rid of Randle because Randle has caused problems on the Lakers, the Pelicans, and now the Knicks. They're able to pack up Randle and get him out of there and keep Toppin, and they're able to sign like another star that they could arguably need, which would be a guard. Because they need a star guard. I mean,
they need a star in general. That's what the Knicks need. They need a superstar. They haven't had one since Melo?
Yeah.
I mean, that's and that even wasn't. I don't even know. Was that? Would you consider Knicks time prime Melo, or was prime Melo still the Nuggets?
Knicks Melo was that man. Knicks Melo was that man. That man was giving people 60 in the Garden.
It's tough that he ran Jeremy Lin out of town, though.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Anyway, when it comes to, you're right. I mean, bring in somebody like, obviously the ideal one is Dame, if they could get him.
They need Dame. That ain't the ideal. They need Dame.
They would need somebody like a Dame, somebody like that. I mean, maybe you get Bradley Beal in the offseason. Maybe.
Bradley Beal is another person that has his head somewhere in other places. Because honestly, like, The Wizards are not doing nada, nothing, zilch. The Wizards are so bad.
And he's done for the year now.
Yeah, I know, because he tore a ligament in his hand or his arm or something like that. But still, like, the Wizards are so poop. Like, oh my god, like David Bertrand.
This appears to be painful for you.
Yes, because like I'm sitting here looking at like you got Kyle Kuzma doing. My god. Oh my god! Like Bradley Beal, like I used to love Bradley Beal because that man was so nice, and then he proved his point of why he needs to be in the league, and he's still sitting on this poo-poo team, and his only hope was bringing in Wes Berger. Wes Berger came in and he did nothing, and you know what he said? He said, "I'm taking my talents to Los Angeles." What is he doing over there? Nothing. I'm tired of these players saying, "I want to go somewhere else," and they're not doing nothing. They're not.
Here's a real. All right, how about this one? Today? Here's a realistic trade deadline target. How about Jalen Brunson?
For who?
Kemba?
No. Jalen Brunson is a good talent. Don't get me wrong, but they need star power. Jalen Brunson is more or less of a 3-and-D point guard. They don't need a 3-and-D point guard. They already got Cam Reddish for that. But the thing is, Tom Tibbs, they get Jalen Brunson. Tom Tibbs is not going to play him.
Oh yeah, you know the whole thing with Cam Reddish, right? With Tibbs, apparently,
he didn't want him.
Apparently, Tibbs didn't want him.
He didn't want him.
This is the stuff where I'm like, get Tibbs out of.
Stay off the weed.
Get Tibbs out. Get Tibbs out. Get somebody else. You need a coach. You're gonna laugh at me with this because you're a Nets fan, but get a guy like a Kenny Atkinson. Get somebody who can develop the young guys, and you're gonna walk out of the booth now, aren't you? Well, this is gonna be an awkward show now. Oh, he's back. Have you collected yourself?
Did you just say Kenny Atkinson, Long Island's very best bum? Kenny Atkinson? You said Kenny Atkinson. Hold on. Let me rephrase this. You said Kenny Atkinson. That man had the keys. And what did he do? He failed me. Miserably. With D'Angelo Russell and Katie and Kyrie, you failed me miserably. Kenny Atkinson? What is he
Say what you will about Kenny. He's the assistant coach of the Warriors.
Good for him.
And according to Steve Kerr, he has been instrumental in the development of some of these younger guys that they have drafted on the team. That's why
Kenny Atkinson's a good generational talent for young players, but he's not somebody who can work around superstars. He's not.
No, but that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying somebody like Kenny Atkinson. I just use him as an example. As the first guy I could think of. Somebody who is good at development, because this is what this Knicks team needs. They need their young guys to develop, to form a chorus of guys who a star wants to play with.
I mean, in all honesty, like they do need a young guy, but then sometimes, but you have to realize it's not like the Warriors where it's like they got 3 veterans and the rest are all young. It's like the Knicks have what is it? D Rose. They got
Rose, Kemba, Fournier, Burks.
They're not. Oh, but
Taj, Noel, Randall, Toppin, Mitch.
I'm talking about young guys.
Young guys. So
they got less.
Mitch,
they got less young guys than they do. They got less young guys than what they have younger. Because
Mitch Barrett, Toppin.
Too. The Knicks run the same way the Spurs do. All the young guys they gut to the G League.
Yep.
All the young players they got to the G League.
Except unlike the Spurs, the Knicks don't know how to get the most of their veteran talents usually.
Nope.
This is like just such a Knicks thing, though. It's like either the roster is flooded with overpaid vets. Like that's such a Knicks thing. It's just I don't know. They need to do something. They need to like blow up the roster, and they need to get Tibbs out of there.
They've been blowing up that roster for too many years now. They need to do something that's going to get them to the next level.
So you're more on the line of instead of just trading the veterans to focus on the young guys, you're in the mind of make a big move for somebody.
Yes, because
I just don't know who that is.
Only time will tell, my friend. Only time will tell.
I'm just trying to think of a star that, again, outside of Dame, who you don't even know if he's going to play the rest of this year, and is getting older.
He's only 30.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I just can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Watch them bring in Westbrook. That'd be hilarious.
They do that, honestly. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie to you if they do that. Honestly,
Speaking of Atlanta, that's a perfect segue, actually. What do you think about the whole John Collins rumor?
I didn't hear about that. What happened with that?
So apparently there's still talks about trading him. It's still up in the air on if they will trade Collins or not.
I don't agree with that.
Apparently he is not happy with his role on the team. He wants to be more involved in the offense. And the Hawks are underperforming this year, and they're considering making big changes to the roster.
Send them to the Hornets.
I would love John Collins. That'd be a perfect fit on the
Send
Hornets.
him to the Hornets.
That would be a perfect
I'm
fit
not
on the
gonna lie.
Hornets.
I've seen a lot of bad trades, but hey, we'll give you Mason Plumlee for him. Shoot, what? I'll take that. John Collins, you'll see a whole lot more of him diddly with the guts of a cat burglar on the Hornets. Yes, please. Yes, please. John Collins, the way he dunks on people. And he builds up a little bit better of a 3-point shot. It's over. It's over. That's a top contending team right there.
Nah, I like John Collins. I think
John Collins is really good.
I'm just looking at the rest of the league. So just look at a few guys here that I had jotted down for interesting trade talks. Just quickly here, rapid fire. Jeremy Grant.
You really chose violence today, Andrew, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why would you even bring up that sorry organization of the Pistons? The Pistons. They need to trade
poor Cade Cunningham.
Poor Cade and poor Sadiq Bey and poor Killian Hayes. Because them boys is Cade, honestly, like, don't get me wrong, Cade is good, but like they need a team around him ASAP. Jeremy Grant needs to go. I don't know where they can send him.
I still have the Bulls for Jeremy Grant.
You want to put him back on the Bulls?
Was he ever on the Bulls?
I think he was on the Bulls for a little while.
Yeah, I just think they need his. I mean, I don't know if he'd want to do it because he'd probably be taking on a lesser role, but his style is kind of what they need. They need a defensive guy at the 4, because when you got Vooch at center, you need somebody who can play D at the 4. And I just think if you roll out a starting 5 lineup of Ball, Levine, DeRozan, Grant, Vooch, you can compete with anybody if that's your starting 5. Unfortunately, you would have to sacrifice your bench again. It would probably cost you. It would cost you Kobe White at least. I don't know if it would cost you Pat Williams. It would also probably be Derek Jones and Troy Brown to make the money work. But
no, he didn't play the Bulls. I thought he did play for the Bulls.
He didn't? Okay, I didn't think so. But yeah, I think that's the best fit for him. The other place would be Utah. But I don't think Utah has the assets to do it.
Utah needs Jesus.
The problem with Utah, the Mormons need Jesus.
Utah, honestly, like, their problem is, I'll speak on it for you because I know we're in the same aspect of we're on the same page in this aspect, I should say.
Yeah.
Their defense is so bad. They rely on Rudy Gobert. They make Rudy Gobert look so good.
They rely on Rudy Gobert to bail out their defense, yeah.
And that's why he wins Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a good player at all, in my opinion. He's really not that good.
I think he's solid. I don't know if he's like a stud, but I think he's a solid rim protecting center. He's just
anybody that could cry about not making the All-Star game is not good to me, okay?
I know you hated this comparison, but just for your reaction on the air, I'm going to do it again. He's just Roy Hibbert.
You want me to leave? Roy Hibbert was God. Roy Hibbert was so good. Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, and Paul George are those guys. Don't ever disrespect Roy Hibbert like that again.
The reactions are just priceless here. So yeah, I mean, with Utah, the real problem is that they kind of dealt everything already. They really just don't have anything. They have no young players to deal. They don't really have any draft picks they can deal.
Not getting rid of Donovan Mitchell.
No. I mean, it's just there's not much they can do. They got to just win with what they got, basically.
Which is not going to happen.
Probably not. The only other team that I heard was actually interested in Jeremy Grant, interestingly enough, was Phoenix.
Let's end the show right now. Let's end the show right now.
I had heard Phoenix. I had heard the Pistons were interested in Jalen Smith.
Who?
Their backup center.
Who? Nah, see.
Potentially putting in Saric in this swap.
See what they need to do right now. Pistons, answer your phone lines right now. The Suns, you need to make a run for your money. Take this man and run. You got Chris Paul, JaVale McGee, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne, aka the Percolator, Mikal Bridges, who's going crazy on defense right now.
You had Jeremy Grant to that
It's
team.
over. It's over. It's over.
This is your chance, Phoenix.
Please do it.
This is your shot. Go all in this year. This is your shot.
Cameron Payne off the bench. We're not gonna talk about Cameron Payne in the finals last year. That man was going crazy. He said, "No, Chris Paul, no problem, no problem."
This is your shot, Suns. This is your shot.
You take Jeremy Grant right now. I'm telling you, go get your Larry O'Brien trophy right now. Go pick it up. Pick it up.
As far as the other interesting players, we can run through real fast. As the Hornet supporter here, you like Miles Turner on the Hornets? That's the rumor. That's the trade we've been hearing for.
I'll take anything from Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee.
All right.
I'll take a bag of chips.
So we're gonna go rapid fire here. Trade on. Are they gonna dealt or not dealt? Just tell me dealt or not dealt.
Okay.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Dealt.
Do you have an idea of where?
Did you not hear what the Wizards said? They don't like him.
I know Bradley Beal doesn't like him.
Nobody likes him. Not even KCP.
How do you piss off KCP? Colin Sexton.
Wait till off season.
Terrence Ross.
That old man. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Magic gonna keep him.
All right. Mo Bamba.
No. Due to the fact that Mo Bamba, like, don't get me wrong, his upcoming Shaq West ruined him with that song. But hey, he is showing his reasons why he deserves to be in the NBA this season. So I'll give him his credit where it's due.
Marvin Bagley.
He still exists? Damn. Marvin Bagley the third? Damn. He playing in the Kings still, right?
Yep, he's still in the Kings.
And the Kings just got Sabonis, right?
Yes.
I'll say wait till all season.
Wait till all season? Torrey Craig.
On the Suns, right?
No, he was on the Suns.
Nuggets,
he's on somewhere else now.
The Nuggets, right?
Maybe the Nuggets?
Nuggets. It's the Nuggets. They're gonna keep him because they need some type of depth for Jamal Murray to come back. I think personally.
All right. Kelly Olynyk.
Retire. Dealt.
Christian Wood.
They're gonna keep him because he's so good.
Thad Young.
He still plays on the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep that whole team. Popovich is so adamant about keeping his players, man.
John Wall.
We'll see. I really don't know about that one, to be honest.
Kemba Walker.
I want to say dealt, but we'll see what today holds.
Taurean Prince.
Next question.
I just had to put that one in there.
Next question. You do that just to spite me.
Oh, absolutely. Evan Fournier.
The money's too big for him to go anywhere. Nobody's gonna take that contract for him.
Here's an interesting one. Eric Gordon.
I'm not gonna lie. He's been like literally. He's been passed around the league. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. He might be packaged in a deal. He might not, but he's not gonna be a key piece in the trade.
Okay. And Nerlens Noel.
No reason to get rid of him just yet.
All right, I think that was all I had for. No, that was. Oh, the one other question I wanted to ask you: does Dallas make a move?
Mark Cuban, I don't know if you're watching this right now, but y'all need Jesus. Y'all need Jesus, okay? Y'all need help. Luka is struggling. Your new coach, Jason Kidd, he was good on the court, but you saw what happened in Brooklyn.
Who thought putting Jason Kidd on this team was a good idea? You move off Rick Carlisle for Jason Kidd.
Due to the fact that KP wasn't getting the burn he deserved, but now KP is getting too much burn.
Yeah.
KP is out here doing what Luka should be doing. They need to play off of each other. Instead of playing one game you go crazy, one game I go crazy, they need to smash
play
it
off each other
together.
better. Yeah.
They need to play off of each other. So, I mean, in all honesty, they need to make a piece. I want to say package up Tim Hardaway Jr. and get a key to another 3-and-D guy that's much younger. That's why I think, honestly, like, I want to say, like, who could I say could fit there? Like, a Buddy Hield situation would fit over there, in my opinion.
I think that would work.
Buddy Hield would fit over there.
Buddy Hield. Do you think maybe like a Sadiq Bey trade could work?
Sadiq Bey would be a great trade.
That just pops in my head. Yeah.
I was thinking about that too, but I wasn't sure. But Sadiq Bey, he's a great 3-and-D guy, and he's still very young. So I mean, they need a 3-and-D guy, and they also need more depth. They have no depth. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Boban's Boban. I'll never hate on Boban. How could you hate Boban? But
I love Boban.
They need help.
Yeah,
they're fighting.
I mean, they have some assets to do it. They don't really have the one thing they don't have is a lot of draft picks to deal because the Knicks still have the rights to 2 of their picks. Locked up in protections from the Porzingis trade, but they have a contract to move in Hardaway and in Dwight Powell if they want to move them, and they have a young asset in Jalen Brunson. So I think all of that together with
add up a little bit something.
Yeah, that you could get something.
It could work.
You could make a deal with that. You could do something with it. What I don't know, but you could make it happen. I think you just got to look around the league and see exactly what you could actually get out of it.
Hands down.
So the last thing is the big contenders in Golden State, Milwaukee, Phoenix, and Philly. Do they?
You said Philly?
Just because of where they are in the standings.
I can't believe you just said that. Philly.
Do they make any
Philadelphia 76ers, the city of the bell. Please get that name out of your mouth. They're not contenders, bro. I will put the New Orleans Pelicans before them as contenders, bro. Don't get me wrong. Joel Embiid is carrying that team.
Should we replace them with the Raptors?
Please.
Should we replace them with the Nets? All right. Should we replace them?
I wouldn't put the Nets in this conversation. Do you not see how they got blown out last night?
Miami. Should we replace them with Miami?
Thank you. Because the Nets, that game last night was deplorable. 28-2 in the first quarter. And now Boston somehow has life again. Them boys is dangerous over there. I'm trying to tell people Jaylen Brown's nobody to play with. But anyways,
do any of those bigger on the playoff favorite side teams make a big move? Do any of them bring in somebody? Specifically, I'm looking more at like Golden State or a Phoenix. Do they bring anybody in?
No. Golden State, all they need to do is get Draymond back and Phoenix. Like I said, if they were to pick up anybody, it would have to be Jeremy Grant. They need to pick up Jeremy Grant. Phoenix, you need to answer that phone. Somebody's calling. I'm telling you right now. No, they get Jeremy Grant, and them boys is bad.
I can't imagine that there's no move to be made. There's got to be something that you could do there.
And the Warriors, no.
Phoenix, yeah.
Hands down.
Does Milwaukee make a move?
I want to say yes, but at the same time, no, because you know how Milwaukee is in the regular season. They're not the best regular season team. When it comes to the playoffs, it's go time.
And I think their roster fits really well together. They don't want to.
They don't make any move. They need to get rid of Grayson Allen. He needs to see anger management problem. That man's crazy. That boy is crazy.
No, he's their tone setter.
No, he's a Dennis Rodman. Okay,
exactly.
He's a Dennis
Rodman without the talent.
You have to go that far. That's when a Coach K's backfires. We don't got to go that far.
All right. I would just say for Grayson Allen, just get Grayson Allen. They play Warriors in the finals. Hey, Grayson, just go mess with Steph.
That's not gonna work. Remember when Kevin Porter Jr. didn't mess with Steph talking all that talk?
Just go injure Steph. That's basically what Grayson will do.
I'm not gonna lie. You know how I feel about the Warriors, but if I want them to win any year, it's this year.
Could you imagine if we get Warriors Cavs finals?
The show has been conceded.
I think I'd throw something if we get that finals.
Throw something?
We thought we were finally free from all that, and we might get it again.
If Darius Garland can really pull that off, that man is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Now let's ask a hypothetical here. If Cleveland were somehow to win the chip this year, which do you think would mean more? Which do you think would be more impressive, that one or the LeBron one?
LeBron didn't do it by himself.
Yeah.
LeBron had Kyrie. I don't care what nobody says. He had Kyrie. Darius Garland, on the hand, he got a bunch of young boys on that team. You got Jared Allen. You got Isaac Okoro. You got him.
Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley. Like, that's a legitimate run. And if Colin Sexton decides to play again and they really push, be more impressive than LeBron. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you because no. Because I'm only looking at it from the bench stop power that the Warriors had at that time.
And the comeback and like the story was too perfect.
LeBron, I have to go LeBron in that one. No, I have to go LeBron. I have to.
Well, all right. I think that's gonna do it this week. Thank you all very much for tuning in to the first edition of Double A Sports.
Thank you.
We'll be back same time next week. He's Anthony Tuitt. I'm Andrew Cura.
Tune in. See you guys next week.
See you guys next week.